So in DevStream 190, Digital Extremes revealed a new mode called the Descendia. And honestly, it sounds like one of the most interesting additions they've come up with in a while. Think of it as the opposite of the Ascension mode from the Brutus fight on Uranus. Instead of climbing up through levels, you're going down a massive underground tower filled with enemies, traps, and objectives. There are 21 floors in total, and each one throws something different at you, like exterminate missions, timed challenges, mini-boss fights, or even parkour-style platforming sections. It's not just about shooting everything that moves. You'll need to adjust your builds and strategies as you go deeper. What makes the Descendia different is that it's designed around pacing and progression. Every 7 floors, there's a checkpoint that lets you save your run and take a break. That means you don't need to clear all 21 floors in one sitting, which is a nice change for players who don't always have hours to spare. Each layer you descend adds new hazards too, like increasing fire or environmental effects that keep the pressure up. The devs even hinted at some sort of infernal theme, so it's not just a tower you're going through. It's like diving into a dangerous, burning underworld where things get hotter and tougher the deeper you go. It also seems like Digital Extremes wants to make this a weekly challenge rather than a one-and-done mode. The layout and objectives will apparently rotate every week, kind of like how Archimedia and Netracells work. That means you'll always have something fresh to do, and you can test different frames or builds depending on what each rotation focuses on. This could be the perfect place to bring out those frames or weapons that don't get much love in regular missions, since each floor might favor a different playstyle. One might reward mobility, another defense, and another raw damage. Right now, they haven't said exactly what the rewards will be, but the community expects floor-based rewards or bonuses for reaching certain milestones. Maybe cosmetics, arcanes, or even new resources tied to the upcoming Old Peace update. What's clear is that DE is trying to make a mode that's both challenging and flexible, something that feels like an adventure rather than a grind. It's got that "how far can you go" vibe, which sounds perfect for veterans who want to test, and for casual players who just want a cool new playground to explore. You know what's funny? A lot of people in the Warframe community have been asking for something like the Descendia for years. Players have always wanted a real tower or gauntlet mode, a place where you could test your builds and endurance across different stages without it being the same endless survival or defense loop. The idea of going floor by floor, fighting new types of enemies and objectives, has been floating around the forums and Reddit forever. So when Digital Extremes finally showed the Descendia in DevStream 190, it felt like they were answering that long-standing wish. What makes this so exciting for players is the variety. Every few floors give you something new to tackle, like extermination, speedruns, mini-bosses, or parkour trials. And that means your build actually gets tested in different ways. It's not just about having high damage anymore. You might need to balance mobility, survivability, and energy efficiency depending on what floor you're on. That's the kind of challenge Warframe veterans have wanted. Something that doesn't just reward one overpowered meta setup, but pushes you to experiment and adapt. It's almost like a proving ground for creativity. Another reason people are hyped is because this kind of mode gives meaning to all the builds we spend time perfecting. Let's be honest, Warframe has hundreds of weapons and mods, but not many places that truly test them outside of niche activities. The Descendia changes that. It gives players a reason to bring weird or underused builds just to see how far they can go. You can finally flex those strange combinations you've been cooking up in the arsenal and see if they hold up past floor 10. And beyond just the challenge, it's also a community thing. Players love showing off how far they made it, what frame they used, or what trick got them through a tough floor. It's the kind of content that sparks friendly competition and creativity without forcing anyone to grind. So when DE announced this mode, it felt like they were finally giving players the kind of long-term, skill-based playground they've been dreaming of. A proper tower gauntlet where every descent feels like an achievement. and that's something a lot of us have been waiting to see in Warframe for a very long time. I'm honestly really happy that Digital Extremes didn't mention any kind of randomizer system for the Descendia. Don't get me wrong, the Duviri Paradox randomizer had its charm. It made you try out new frames and weapons you'd probably never touch otherwise. But at the same time, it always came with that feeling of, man, I wish I could just use my favorite loadout. So when DE showed the Descendia and said nothing about a forced rotation or randomized gear system, I breathed a sigh of relief. This time, we get to bring what we actually want. No restrictions, no random frame roulette. For me, that's a big deal. I've spent months farming and fine-tuning certain builds that feel like an extension of how I play the game. My favorite Warframe, my go-to primary, and that melee I've formatted a dozen times, that's my comfort zone. It's part of what makes Warframe feel personal. So having a new endgame mode that lets me bring my favorite loadout into a proper gauntlet-style challenge just feels right. It's that sense of freedom we've been missing in some of the newer systems where the game decides what you use. The randomizer in Duviri was fun, sure, but after a while, it got tiring to be handed weapons that didn't really click with your playstyle. It's great for variety, but it sometimes breaks the flow when you're forced to adapt to gear you didn't choose. In contrast, the Descendia feels like a celebration of your own builds, the stuff you've invested time and resources into. You're rewarded for knowing your setup and mastering it, not for surviving a random draw. That alone makes the mode feel more like Warframe again. And honestly, I'm glad DE didn't go down the Archimedia route either. That mode had some cool ideas, but the forced modifiers and restrictions made it more of a chore than a challenge. The Descendia sounds like it's focused purely on fun and skill, not on stripping away your gear just to make things harder. You'll be able to walk in with your favorite Warframe, tweak your build for each floor type, and see how deep you can go, no strings attached. That kind of consistency is refreshing. What I love most is how this design choice respects player investment. Some of us have spent years crafting the perfect builds. We've formatted, tested, tweaked, and finally made setups that feel powerful and personal. It's nice to have a mode that says, yeah, bring that in, show us what it can do. It's not about randomness or luck, it's about mastery. That's something I've missed, and I think a lot of players will feel the same way once they dive in. So yeah, I'm genuinely happy with this decision. The Descendia looks like the perfect mix of challenge and freedom, tough enough to test your builds, but fair enough to let you play your way. After years of randomizers and loadout restrictions, it's refreshing to finally see a mode where you can just gear up, drop in, and enjoy the climb, or in this case, the descent, with the weapons and warframes you actually love. Now, I would like to know your opinion about the new Descendia game mode. Are you excited about it, or do you have any opinions or suggestions on how it should work? Let us discuss this in the comments section below. And by the way, thanks for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one.